Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Magic of Mariposa Sacred Sexuality, this beautiful healing experience today. This is not your ordinary webinar. It's going to be a deeply healing and enlightening and freeing experience. So before we get started, I just want to welcome you and honor you for listening to your intuition and finding your way here. I believe you are here for a reason, and I believe that we've connected for a reason. As we go through this experience today, I'm going to invite you to focus and be present. It can be easy during a webinar to multitask, to text people or check your email. I'm going to invite you to close any unnecessary tabs and just be right here, right now, so that you can really soak in everything I'm going to be sharing, and so that you can enjoy the experience, because we're going to have a lot of fun too. And we will be together anywhere between 60 to 90 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it closer to 60, but I know myself and I have a lot to share, so we might go a little over. But anyway, I do have a lot to share, and I hope you enjoy it. And also, I'd love to hear from you in the chat box if you would be up for sharing where you are from, city and state or country. Just share where you're logging in from today. And the intention of our webinar today is for you to feel inspired to activate your sacred sexual energy, your life force energy, essentially to create the life that you want, to create the life you want, to create health and happiness and perhaps your perfect relationship, or to deepen the love in your current relationship, to create the career that you love, the money flow that you love, the confidence and self-love, and so on. And I am Courtney Fae Long. I am the creator of Mariposa Sacred Sexuality, also an international speaker, author, and master's level social worker. And I've been teaching for over 20 years now, which is very exciting to me. And I've had quite a journey with Mariposa Sacred Sexuality, quite a transformation myself, which I'll be sharing with you in just a little bit. And my passion is really helping men and women and people of all genders, all ages, to get turned on for life, to really light your sexual fire and live a life full of joy and love and passion and abundance by lighting your sexual fire, igniting the magic of your sexual energy. Woohoo! So happy that you're here. And let's talk about you for a few moments, shall we? I want to see if you relate to some of these things. So have you been successful in your career or your business or even your life, managing your life? Have you been successful, but you've also been working hard? And are you feeling tired of working so hard? Like you've had too much work, not enough play and pleasure? If you relate to that, please share in the chat box. Just say yes, or even better, say, oh yes. Add a little passion. Is your body feeling stressed, exhausted, maybe even drained, maybe even dealing with health issues? If that is the case for you, then say yes in the chat box. And do you know that you need more self-care? Like maybe you already love self-care, but you know you need more. You're just not sure how to carve out time in your life for that. And do you love to help other people, but you're starting to run low on energy, almost like you just don't have as much to give anymore? To relate to that, but you don't have as much to give anymore, but still you're a high energy person, so you just keep going, kind of keep pushing through. But if you really are honest with yourself, you're kind of a little tired. So let me know if you relate to that. And also, have you experienced heartache in the past? Heartache from breakups, divorce, loss, all kinds of situations. And are you secretly craving a deep, meaningful romantic relationship? And that could apply whether you're single right now or even if you're in a relationship and you just feel like you want a deeper connection with your partner. So are you craving that deep connection and romantic love? If so, you're in the right place. Thank everybody for commenting in the chat box. I can see your awesome comments. Woohoo! And do you relate to this? You're unsatisfied sexually, undersexed, or not having much sex at all. Or it could be that the sex that you're having is not lighting you up. It's not filling you up with joy and passion and love and light. And similarly, are you not having mind-blowing, earth-shattering sex that raises your vibration and catapults you into new levels of love, ecstasy, and connection with the divine, connection with the universe, connection with your higher self, connection with God, whatever words resonate with you? So are you not having that? Have you maybe never experienced it, or maybe you have experienced it, but it went away? So I want to hear. I'm going to check the chat box. Jill says, sex, what's that? LOL. Nice. I just told Greg we need to get that spark back. I love it. Yep. And Susan says, undersexed. Absolutely. And Dawn says, most sex is with myself. He's tired. Yep, absolutely. And we can have sex with ourselves. That's something I really want to convey today, is as I'm talking about sacred sexuality, this can be with yourself or with a partner. I believe we must start with ourselves and get really comfortable there first before we can fully connect in a sacred way with our partner. So I'll share more. And what about this? Is your life dull? Just feeling dull rather than vibrant and passionate? Like, do you actually feel excited to get out of bed in the morning for something other than work or your kids or your family? Like, do you have this inner passion that's driving you forward? Or are you just feeling not turned on for life? Like, maybe you're smiling on the outside, but inside, when you're really honest with yourself, you're maybe not truly happy or fulfilled. And also another little thought too is, do you know that something needs to change in your life? Like, you feel that something's got to give, something's got to change. Maybe it's needed to change for a long time, but it hasn't. And you're like, oh, you just feel like you're on the verge of this big change, but it hasn't happened. But today is a new day, and today could be the start of something completely new in your life. So thank you all for sharing in the chat box. Yeah, awesome. Oh my gosh, I love what you're sharing. Thank you so much. So another thought too, to know if you're in the right place, is, have you worked on most areas of your life? Like, kind of been there, done that. You've worked on your career, your life purpose. You've worked on perhaps family, maybe even relationship, money, health, spirituality, especially in the spiritual realm. You've done all kinds of different spiritual things. So does that sound like you? But have you learned about sacred sexuality? Like, is this pretty new to you to like really dive into what is sacred sexuality, and to really understand that your sexuality is an important aspect of your spirituality? Your sexuality is an important aspect of your spirituality, and it's super essential for your health and your happiness and your vitality. Now is your time. If you've never dove into this before, or you've dabbled a little bit, now is your time. And I'm just so excited that you are here. And sacred sexuality is really this portal. It's a portal into a whole new way of being in the world, a whole new life. And I have a lot to share with you today. I'm going to give you as much as I possibly can. And then I also promise that I'm going to share with you some opportunities for how you can learn more if you love what I share and you really want to dive in even deeper. So here's what we're going to cover today. Why activating your sacred sexual energy is the key to creating health, your perfect relationship, happiness, self-love, confidence, money flow, and more. I'm going to explain that, why it matters. The potential to create a deep, meaningful connection with your partner, yourself, and the divine. Whether you call that God, source, spirit, universe, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, you can connect with that, like almost like the energy of love, the universal energy of love, through Mariposa sacred sexuality, which is very different from ordinary sex. Very, very different. I'm going to share a sneak peek at my 4-step glow system to help you create the love and connection and deep fulfillment that you secretly crave. Again, whether you're single or if you're in partnership, what you do for yourself can absolutely impact your partnership, whether your partner ever does it or not. How to avoid the 5 biggest mistakes that lead you to unconsciously sabotage basically your whole life. A lot of us don't realize we're making these mistakes. I've made them all myself in the past, and I'm going to help point them out to you gently and give you some specific action steps that you can take to start overcoming those mistakes. Woohoo! And also we're going to talk about how to feel hot, sexy, and confident in your body now, at any age, any size, any shape. And I'm also going to share my story of how I went from single, sad, sick, and stressed to happy, healthy, vibrant, and in the perfect partnership for me by unleashing my sacred sexual superpower and my orgasmic glow. So excited to share this with you. And I'm also going to share with you 2 free gifts. So stay tuned till the end for those free gifts. One is going to be my special ebook, Light Your Sexual Fire. And then the other one is going to be the opportunity to have a private Spark Your Sexual Fire session. Yay! Okay, as you can see, we've got a lot to cover. I'm going to just dive right in. Your sacred sexual energy is your hidden superpower. It's your hidden superpower. We've all been taught that somehow our sexuality is dirty or bad or wrong. And that could not be farther from the truth. Could not be farther from the truth. Your sexual energy is beautiful, it's pure, and it's cosmic. It's the key to your happiness and your health and your vitality. It's the key to you manifesting the life that you want. Your sexual energy is your life force energy. It is your vitality. It fuels your creativity, and it fuels your whole life. Your sexual energy is actually the bridge between heaven and earth. It's the bridge between the higher dimensions or your higher self and your human self here on earth. So it's very, very important that you really unleash your sacred sexual superpower. And that is why if you don't unleash your sacred sexual superpower, if your sexual energy is not flowing and glowing, that's why you can't feel happy, beautiful, healthy, or vibrant. And also it blocks your intuition when your sexual energy is not flowing. It's really important for having a clear, open, intuitive channel. And most of us are living at about like 20 to 30% of our capacity for love and joy. 20 to 30%. But when you activate your sacred sexual energy, it can like really raise that percentage up to 100% potentially of your capacity for aliveness and passion and creativity and intuition and love and joy. Isn't that interesting? And if you think about a superhero, like think about Superman. When Superman is in his Superman mode, he has all his gifts activated. He's like flying. He has the gift of flying, and he rescues people and helps the world. He lives his life purpose. And think of the difference of that versus when he's in his human mode, his Clark Kent mode with his business suit. His life is like way more limited and normal. And so when you light your sexual fire, you get to basically turn on your superhero powers, and you get to be the fully alive, turned on version of yourself. And that helps you to fulfill your life purpose, and it helps you to make the difference that you're born to make, and it helps you to do it basically without killing yourself, you know, with an overflowing cup of energy and joy and passion, so you can keep giving to others and receive along the way. So I'm going to be sharing with you today an overview of my 4-step glow system But first, let's talk about what is orgasmic glow. What is orgasmic glow? So you know those people who they just have something special about them, like they just have this air of confidence and they just glow. Do you know that kind of a person? Have you seen someone like that? Could be a celebrity, could be someone you know, maybe even yourself. So those people that just glow, when they're glowing, that means their life force energy is flowing. And you know the afterglow that comes from really good sex? So your orgasmic glow is this inner shine or radiance that is possible when you activate your sacred sexual energy. It's like the source of your true inner happiness and the source of love. It's already within you, within this beautiful glow. So today I'm going to share that 4-step glow system so that you can know, like, how do you get your glow on? How do you shine from deep within? So does that sound good? Matthew says, yes, love that. Do you want to glow? Where I think we're all meant to glow. Let's talk about what is Mariposa sacred sexuality. I love this magical butterfly picture. Mariposa sacred sexuality is the special kind of sacred sexuality that I have created thanks to 10 years of personal study, behind the scenes, personal study of different forms of sacred sexuality, as well as a lot of divine downloads and guidance from the angels, as well as my experience of supporting clients for over 20 years as a healer and intuitive and life coach and hypnotherapist and speaker. So Mariposa sacred sexuality is a special kind of sacred sexuality that helps you to utilize your sexual energy for a higher purpose. It's very different from ordinary sex. And in fact, Mariposa is not even just about sex. It's about your sexual energy, which can be flowing any moment of any day and is meant to be flowing every moment of every day, not just when you are turned on for lovemaking. So this is about more than just ordinary sex. It's about really living the life that you're meant to live and utilizing your sexual energy purposefully to create a deeper connection with life, with your partner. Perhaps even to utilize your sexual energy to call in the right partner for you. Imagine that. How cool is that? Most people that are single that I talk to, they say, oh, I'll wait to learn about sacred sexuality till I get my partner. And I say, no, it's the opposite way around. Learn about sacred sexuality, get your glow on first, and that's going to attract in the right partner for you. It's quite incredible. You can utilize it to create better health and so many wonderful things in your life. And Mariposa means butterfly in Spanish. Means butterfly in Spanish. And butterflies have always been really important to me ever since I was a little girl. And butterflies represent freedom, transformation, and beauty. Freedom, transformation, and beauty. So I'm curious, did anybody know, I know some of you know already, but anybody already know that Mariposa meant butterfly? If you want to share, please share in the chat box. So your butterfly self is waiting to emerge. Like if you think about the transformation or metamorphosis that a butterfly goes through, it starts out as a caterpillar, it forms this chrysalis around it, often called a cocoon, but moths go into cocoons, butterflies go into a chrysalis. So it creates a chrysalis around it. Its whole body changes. It turns into goop, like complete mush, and it changes how it expresses its DNA. Like, isn't that cool? It changes how it expresses its DNA. I believe we can all do that too. And then the butterfly emerges from the chrysalis and soars around the world. And just think about the perspective of the butterfly flying around the world, free and happy. And like the butterfly's view of the world is so different from the caterpillar's view, right? The caterpillar's view is very limited to one area. The butterfly can fly all across the country, all across the world if it really wants to. And the butterfly's view of the world is colorful and vibrant and passionate. And I believe that a lot of people are living their lives like a caterpillar. Do you relate to that at all? Do you feel like your life is okay? It's maybe pretty good, but it's not quite the butterfly that you might want to be, you know, that sense of your potential for joy, your potential for love. Like you feel like there's something more that you're meant to be doing, or maybe something more you're meant to be being in the world. So Mariposa Sacred Sexuality helps you to spread your wings and soar as your beautiful butterfly self, as your authentic self, with all your gifts, all your power, all your passion. And I know it sounds lovely, right? Like you might think, well, that sounds inspiring, Courtney, but I've got work to do, or I've got a family to take care of. And like, that sounds nice, but you know, I'll do that later. And the thing is that we are on the precipice of a huge change, a huge transformation on the planet. Talk about transformation of the butterfly. The planet is going through a huge metamorphosis right now. And we are being asked to step up to the plate. And actually, it's more like the universe is demanding that we step up to the plate, that we become who we're meant to be and do what we're meant to do. And there really is no more time to waste. That just gave me chills. So your butterfly self is waiting to emerge. And I want to share a little bit about my story and just see if you relate to it. Some of you know it, but I haven't shared it a whole lot yet. So I don't love to talk about myself. I love to teach, but talking about myself is not my favorite thing. So, but I really want to open up and share, because I feel like my story illustrates like what is possible with Mariposa. And I want to see if you relate, and then see like what's happening in your life and what transformation is waiting for you. So as I said, I have been teaching for over 20 years, and I love my work, like adore my work, to the point where I was working 24/7 around the clock, literally 7 days a week from sunup till bedtime. And you know, I loved it. It was super fun. And I was traveling around the world teaching retreats in Hawaii and Sedona, Arizona, and Germany, and internationally, and just having a really wonderful time with my work. But of course, as you can imagine, all that work and not enough play and pleasure, I got burned out. And at some point, I started developing insomnia and anxiety, and I just started feeling exhausted, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out of it. It was like I knew something needed to change, but had no idea what to do, because I was like, well, my clients need me, you know, my work needs me, and so on. And at the same time, I really wanted a deep, meaningful relationship, but I wasn't making time for it. Or like if I was in a relationship, I was kind of sabotaging it and prioritizing my work over my relationship. And not only that, but I really didn't understand the importance of our sexuality and how important that is for our health and vitality. And I was carrying around a lot of shame about my sexuality. I was raised Catholic, and that just caused me, for many reasons, to feel a lot of shame and self-doubt. And I also realized as a teenager that I was bisexual. I kissed a girl, and then I freaked out about it. It felt so good. It was like, I was like, well, what is this beautiful energy and feeling I'm having? But then I thought, oh, my church says this is wrong and that this is actually sinful. Like I was betraying God, betraying the universe, but it felt so good. So I was very confused, and it just led to a lot of deep, deep shame. And so anyway, I was smiling on the outside in my work, and I was happy when I was working. But if I was really honest with myself, like deep inside, I was drowning. I was just so sad and so lonely and just not fulfilled by any means. So not surprisingly, I had a big health crash. My adrenals crashed, my immune system crashed. Doctors, I mean, I saw so many different doctors. They didn't even know what was going on with me. Still to this day, no one knows. But I had to like really reduce my work hours. It impacted my ability to work, which was very, very hard for me. And it cost me a lot of money trying to regain my health. It cost me literally over $50,000. And I never would have guessed this would happen to me. I was always healthy, I was always strong and vibrant. I felt like a superhero, you know? And so I was like, I couldn't believe this was happening to me, but it lasted for 5 years. I was in a deep, serious health issue for 5 years. And I decided like something had to change. You know, I had to do something different, possibly drastically different. And I'd already been studying about sacred sexuality and practicing it, but I decided I'm diving in deeper. I'm going to learn more about this. And as I practiced sacred sexuality, my own sexual energy started to rejuvenate me, started to energize me and help me regain my health, which was really, really incredible. And at the same time, I always had this belief, like if I just found the right partner, I would be happy. If I just found the right person, I would be happy. I learned that from Disney fairy tales, I think. But anyway, and I realized in my inquiry, I basically was like in this healing process. I put myself in a cocoon or chrysalis, and I realized that no one else can make me happy. I had to find my own happiness deep, deep inside. And I knew it was like waiting for me deep, deep inside my own body, inside my own sexual energy. And so I basically dove in, created the 4-step glow system, took myself through it, and Mariposa Sacred Sexuality saved my life, completely saved my life. And it helped me to regain my health, regain my happiness. And along the way, like once I got my glow on, which I'm going to share with you like step by step what I did. Once I got my glow on, I was able to call in the perfect partner for me, my partner, Mike. And we are so happy together. We just have so much fun together. We have amazing lovemaking that is not just lovemaking for, you know, connecting as a couple, but that lovemaking really rejuvenates me, and it fuels my creative work, and it helps my business. Sometimes I get my greatest business ideas during lovemaking or in the afterglow, just after. So it feels amazing. When I really think through my transformation, I was just in such a low point and I never thought I'd get there. And then I got myself out of it through the help of my own sacred sexual energy. Well, this is possible for you too, wherever you are. It's like whatever you're wanting in your life, your own sexual energy can help you to live the life that you're meant to be living. So thank you all so much for sharing in the chat box too. Yay, I'm so happy you're learning so much. Woohoo! And also I wanted to say too, now I do enjoy a balanced schedule. I love my work, but I definitely take my time off, and it is so much better for my soul. How do you light your sexual fire and get your glow on? How do you do that? With the 4-step glow system. But before you can glow, before we get to the 4 steps, there is some foreplay that needs to happen. And that foreplay is prioritize pleasure. Prioritize pleasure. Pleasure, according to the dictionary, pleasure is a feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. A feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment. There's certainly sexual pleasure, and that is so important. And there's also everyday pleasure, like the pleasure of, you know, enjoying a delicious cup of tea, or the pleasure of watching a sunset, or having a great conversation with a friend. So as you are busy working, being there for everyone in your life, are you making time for your own pleasure and for your own joy, and also for your sexuality? A mistake that you might be making, many of us do this, is too much work, not enough play and pleasure. Do you relate to that? I'd love to hear in the chat box if you relate, whether it's your work or your responsibilities. Are you like overworked and under-pleasured? Overworked and under-pleasured? Do you feel like a slave to your work or to your life sometimes? Like you don't know how to get out of it. You want some more time to yourself, but you just think it has to be this way. And do you even secretly feel a little resentful toward your work, or even toward people in your life? Maybe your coworkers or your boss or your the people that you help, or your partner or family. Do you feel like this resentment is building up? And it's not about them. It's about you and how much you need more pleasure in your life. So let's just, I want you to just like really be honest with yourself as we go through. I'm going to give you some questions to tune into. And I feel like most of us were used to just, you know, being strong and going through life with a happy face, doing what needs to be done. And this moment right now is an opportunity for you to get very real with yourself. If you're always so busy, you're not always tuning in, like be very honest with yourself. Are you craving more pleasure, sexual pleasure and everyday pleasure? Are you craving more sex or maybe just satisfying sex? Are you craving more free time to enjoy life, like work-life balance, or, you know, that work responsibility and play pleasure balance? Are you craving more self-care, maybe just more joy and fun? And what about health and energy and vitality, so that you can give from an overflowing cup and make the meaningful difference that you're meant to make in the world? So are you craving these things? Please share in the chat box. And are you craving the fulfillment and adventure of sacred sexuality? So the foreplay is called prioritize pleasure. And here is an action step that you can take right away. Please get out your calendar right now. Get out your calendar, whether it's a paper calendar or if it's an electronic calendar, and decide in the next 7 days, 1 hour, that you are going to have a pleasure date with yourself. A pleasure date with yourself. You can do anything you want during that pleasure date. You can make yourself a delicious cup of tea or coffee. You can give yourself a massage. You can take a relaxing bath. You can go for a walk. You can do something sexual, whatever you want, but it's got to be something just for you that's going to bring you joy and pleasure. So decide on 1 hour within the next 7 days. And I'm really going to invite you to do this. I know it's easy to just listen, be like, oh, I'll do that later, but decide right now, when are you going to take an hour for yourself for a pleasure date? And like I said, I'm giving you as much as I can today. If you wanted to dive deeper into prioritizing pleasure, here are the other steps that I took myself through. This is very important, is to stop working and make love. Stop working so much and bring love making into your life, whether that is with yourself or with a partner. Learn the art of pleasure. There is a sacred art to it. And we knew it. I feel like we knew it long ago, but we've got to regain that awareness. Clear subconscious blocks. This is a very deep part of the healing that is so important for us to do. There's so many healing modalities out there that address the conscious mind, which is great, but the conscious mind is only 10 to 15% of the mind. The other 85 to 90% of the mind is the subconscious. It's like that's what's beneath the surface. That's where all our beliefs lie, and our memories and our habits, our patterns, our feelings, like so much lies within the subconscious. And most of our subconscious beliefs are formed from the time we're in our mother's womb till age 7. Which means most of us are adults walking around with very outdated, very limited subconscious beliefs. And it's up to us to reprogram those beliefs, kind of like when you get a computer and you're like updating the apps or the software to the latest version. It's like updating your subconscious mind to the latest version of you, of the joyful, pleasurable life that you want. So clearing subconscious blocks, very, very important. Creating free time and space for pleasure. This was the kicker for me. It was a huge part of my journey. I had to take out some of my work time and I had to bring in more pleasure time. And I also had to figure out how to still maintain productivity and money flow and helping the people I wanted to help while I did that. So creating free time is essential. And I have actually a 6-step protocol for how to create that free time in your schedule. Also, mapping out your pleasure centers. Pleasure centers are these beautiful areas in our body and in our energy field of heightened sensitivity, heightened pleasure. And they're actually portals to the higher dimensions, portals to divine love. It's really important to know where your pleasure centers are and to activate them and to enjoy them. So mapping out your pleasure centers. Also learning the sacred art of self-pleasure, also known as sacred masturbation. There is an art to masturbation. It is meant to be very rejuvenating, very sacred, just like a time where you really increase your self-love. So there's an art to that, as well as pleasure with your partner. Pleasure with your partner, there's lots of these beautiful pleasure principles of how to enjoy pleasure with a partner. So there's lots to each of these glow steps. And of course, like I said, I'm giving you an action step. I'm giving you as much as I can. And if you do want to learn more, I will share an opportunity to learn more too. So let's move on to glow step number 1. This one is my absolute favorite. This one is called grounding. The G in glow stands for grounding. And it's not your ordinary grounding. It's not about connecting with the earth. So it's very different from the usual types of grounding out there. It is called Mariposa multi-dimensional grounding. This step is all about the body, getting your body happy, hot, and sizzling. And the multi-dimensional grounding is about embodying your soul or your higher self in your physical body. Your sexual energy is the highest vibration that you can experience in physical form. So it's like if you really want to embody your soul and you really want to experience your sacred sexual energy, you've got to get your body ready and prepared to hold that energy. Isn't that cool? So a couple mistakes I'd love to hear in the chat box if you relate to these. A couple mistakes you might be making is stressed body syndrome. Stressed body syndrome. Is your body tense and stressed rather than relaxed and flowing? Most successful people that I know and most givers tend to be stressed, like nonstop stress in the body, maybe even like shallow breathing, because it's all about taking action, not necessarily about relaxation. So is your body stressed rather than sexified, rather than your sexual energy flowing? Are you judging and criticizing your body? This is a big one, especially, going through aging. If you're starting to show signs of aging or you're far into aging, or even in young years, like, do you judge and criticize your body when you look in the mirror? That is one of the biggest energy drains there is when we judge ourselves or feel less than. And interestingly, for women, there are 2 major factors that decrease a woman's libido, that decrease her interest in sex and her passion, like that sense of turn on. 1 is stress, and 2 is poor body image, judging the body. Isn't that interesting? So those 2 right there will totally decrease your interest in sex and your ability to enjoy sacred sex. What about confidence and feeling sexy? Are you not feeling sexy and confident in your body? And are you scoring low on your self-care scorecard? Are you knowing you need to do more self-care? Like, you need maybe more sleep or better nutrition, more exercise, more time outdoors, all those things. But again, you're not doing everything that you know that your body needs to feel really, really good. And I totally get it, because like for me, my deepest pain in my life has been my body. It was very easy for me to just ignore my body, deny what my body needed. But as I shared with you, that led to a huge crash and lots of problems in my life. So this is really super important. Are you craving to feel turned on for life? Like energy to have a good life? Are you craving to feel confident in your body? Like, just imagine if you no longer criticized your body. Like, imagine all the mental space and the energy that would free up if you could stop worrying about your weight or your cellulite or your wrinkles. Like, how much more energy you'd have to enjoy life. Wouldn't that be so cool? And Dawn says, I can practice non-judgment with others, but not myself, right? Absolutely. Yep. Are you craving to feel energized, to feel a sense of health? I believe we're all meant to be healthy, and our bodies want to be healthy. They naturally want to be healthy. Are you craving to treat yourself like a king or queen, like a goddess, with sacred self-care? Not just the self-care that you need to get through the day, but sacred self-care that gives you the sense of infinite energy, like you have more energy than you know what to do with. And are you craving to activate your body to its full capacity for love and pleasure and ecstasy and healing? Woohoo, it's all very, very, very possible. So here's your action step to get started for glow step number 1. This one is called Spark Your Sensuality. Spark your sensuality. What you'll do is get some lotion or massage oil, even like coconut oil, can be a little messy, but choose something, and then you'll give yourself some sensual touch. Like start with your arms, maybe your legs, your stomach, your chest or breasts. Just rub that lotion or oil all around your body, and ideally do it naked. But just enjoy it, luxuriate in the experience. You know how easy it can be to just rub lotion on ourselves, like it's a task. But what if you enjoy it and notice the sensations that you experience while you do it? Your body is going to light up and thank you when you give it some attention and some love. So that's a great way to get started with getting that body confidence on and really lighting your body up. Glow step number 1, there's a lot to it, but essentially, like I said, it's all about body confidence and honoring the sacredness of your body, awakening your body's sacredness, embodying your soul, embodying your light, embodying your sacred sexual energy. The next phase of our spiritual evolution is not in denying the body or bypassing the body. Like, you know, there's a lot of teachings out there about fasting and like ignoring the body's needs. The next phase of our spiritual evolution is about being in the body, embracing the body, embracing the pleasures and experiences that the body is capable of. Another really important part of glow step number 1 is awakening the sacredness of your genitals. Do you love your genitals? Do you love looking in the mirror at your genitals? Do you love the color and the shape and the texture and everything about your genitals? And if not, there's definitely some work to do. And also, did you know that your genitals are a portal? They are a sacred portal to the divine. Your genitals are incredibly important, and there's lots of energetic portals and beautiful pleasure centers within your genitals that when you light those up, that is what helps you to experience sacred sexuality and take your life and your energy levels to the whole next level. So there's a lot of beautiful work to be done within the sacred genitals. And of course, getting your body confidence on feeling good in your skin, comfortable, sexy, feeling hot, just feeling totally confident in your body. Again, at any size, shape, any age. And then also practicing sacred self-care, treating yourself like a king, queen, or goddess. Awesome. Samantha says, wow, I have really been single too long. I love it, love it, love it. And Dawn says, I have not to look to others to make me feel like a queen, but to myself. Whoops. I love it. Yep. It all comes from within. And I know this all sounds nice, but I also invite you as we talk about this to tune in and just be like, well, what happens if you don't do these things? What happens if you don't do these things? Potentially, you could be continuing in a lot of stress, potentially health issues, potentially just lack of fulfillment. And it really starts with us. We're going to get into glow step number 2 of how the love starts within us. And we really can't be a wonderful partner. We can't really totally make the difference we're meant to make and show up for the people in our lives fully if we're not filling ourselves up first. And that's what I love about Mariposa Sacred Sexuality. It's about sacred sexuality, but it's also about you and your whole life, like every aspect of your life. Glow step number 2 is love. The L in glow stands for love. And this one is about activating the orgasmic power of your heart. Did you know your heart is one of the most important pleasure centers? It's so important for your sacred sexuality. Glow step 2 is all about opening your ability to give and receive love. And I love it. Michelle says, is it just me or is anyone else getting hot and turned on? Woohoo! That makes me so happy, Michelle. That's what it's all about. So are you craving self-love to actually truly love yourself and feel like you're there for yourself, like you're your own best friend, not your worst enemy? And I asked this already, are you craving a fulfilling, meaningful relationship where you can really be yourself, your authentic self, and you can be loved for who you are, and you can love your partner for who they are, and even have a spiritual connection? I know for me, like I'd had great relationships in the past, but I'd never had a relationship until now where we grew together spiritually. And it's just made such a world of difference in my life. This is actually a picture of my partner Mike and I on a spa day. We love to have spa days together. So we're having so much fun. And of course, are you also craving not just the heart connection, but the sacred sexual connection, to have that hot, sacred sex as well? And do you even feel like, whether you're in partnership or single, but do you even feel a bit sad that you haven't had that love yet? That you haven't had the relationship you want, or maybe you had it and it went away, or you lost it for whatever reason, but are you just like so ready for this love? A mistake that you might be making is potentially unconsciously sabotaging your relationship, and pushing love away. Are you pushing love away and not even realizing you're doing it? This can come very much from heart walls. Heart walls are these unconscious energetic blocks that we develop over time. Every time we're hurt, every time we go through heartache, loss, a breakup, divorce, bullying, abuse, all throughout our lives, even in past lives, we tend to build up this energetic heart wall that blocks out love because we don't want to get hurt again. But the problem when we don't want to be hurt again is we block our own love from flowing, and we block ourselves from being loved. And these heart walls, they wreak havoc in our lives. I know for myself, even once I met Mike, I tended to point my finger at him and blame him and like be like, why couldn't he just change this or that? And I was like sabotaging the relationship, and I didn't realize it's because I had my own heart wall that I needed to heal. So do you relate to that? It's not about finding this perfect person that is going to meet your every dream. It's about being open to love, to dive deeper into the love. So possibly romantic problems are coming from you and you're not even realizing it. So one action step that you can take is to tune into your heart. To tune into your heart, do a mini meditation where you tune into your heart and you just close your eyes, you take a few deep breaths, and you notice, are there any blocks around your heart? Like, is the love able to flow or not? Or are you feeling like your heart is just stuck and stagnant, like the love is not quite flowing? And I have a wonderful client, Candace, who she was married to a man who was just so in his head, not in his heart. And they ended up getting a divorce. And she wanted to meet the love of her life. She wanted to have this wonderful relationship. But she also realized, with my help, she realized that she had to heal her heart walls. She had to like get comfortable in her body, in her sexuality, get comfortable in her feminine energy. And she had to tear down those heart walls that had been developed since childhood. And she took her time with that. And she, at some point, she met the love of her life, and they just got married earlier this year, and they are so, so, so happy together. It's really beautiful how this works. So glow step number 2 is all about, first of all, getting your self-love on. Self-love comes from embodying your sacred sexual energy. melting your heart walls with the help of your sexual fire. It's also about connecting your heart to your sacred genitals. Did you know there is meant to be a beautiful connection from your heart to your sacred genitals? And they say that, you know, the journey from the head to the heart is like 1,000 miles. Well, the journey from the heart to the sacred genitals is 1,000,000 miles, but it can be made. Like, there's this beautiful connection that when you have it, you thrive and you can experience the joy of the sacred sexuality. Also, it's about opening your heart to authentic love. So does this sound like you? Does this sound like what you want, that you want to activate the orgasmic power of your heart? Woohoo! Okay, I want to check in with you. I've been kind of checking in the chat box. I want to hear from you what's coming up for you and what I'm sharing today. Are you like feeling that this is resonating? What questions are coming up? I want to hear from you. I'm going to check back in, so please type in the chat box. And just a quick check-in, we still have a little more to go. So we've discovered what Mariposa's sacred sexuality is. I shared my story. We explored the pre-step or the foreplay, prioritize pleasure. I shared glow steps number 1 and number 2. And still to come, stay tuned for the O in glow, glow step number 3, glow step number 4, and then also 2 free gifts. I'm super excited to share those with you. And we also have time at the end for Q&A and some client love. I have a very special client who is on with us, and she's going to share a little bit of her experience with you. So woohoo, awesome. All right, thank you for commenting. Yep, recognizing some heart walls. So many heart walls to break down. Heart is open to giving and receiving love. I love it. Okay, perfect. Let me grab my notes. So if this is resonating, like if what I'm sharing is speaking to your soul and you feel that stirring in your heart, like something has to change. It has to change now. Your sexual energy is waiting to be unleashed. And it's not going to just happen. Like, I wish it could just happen. I had to do a lot to make this happen for myself. And I've taken everything I've done and condensed it into this process for you. And you know, it's about taking action that's aligned with your soul. Taking action that's aligned with your soul. But this is not just about you and your sexual energy. This is really about the whole planet. The planet needs you to raise your vibration and to help raise the vibration of the planet. And that can happen through your beautiful sacred sexual energy. So I would love to help you further with this. And I've literally spent the last 3 years of my life downloading and developing a sacred journey for you. And it's called Mariposa Sacred Sexuality, Level 1, Light Your Sexual Fire to Create the Love and Connection and Life that you crave. And it's filled with classes and group coaching on Zoom, sacred sexual embodiment exercises. It's filled with sacred ceremonies, and it's filled with beautiful meditations to heal and clear those subconscious blocks, and basically everything you need to get your beautiful orgasmic glow on. And a group of people have already gone through this program with me over the last year. And I just want to share a couple of things that have happened because it's just been so magical. One person had been single for 8 to 9 years, and she knew she had a lot of heart walls, deep subconscious blocks. She cleared those blocks and she met the love of her life by class number 4. Like, she'd hardly even gotten into the program, and she did enough that she called in this amazing partner, and they are so, so happy together. So that's very exciting. Another person had experienced sexual abuse at a very young age. And through these beautiful teachings, she got really comfortable in her body, had deep healing of her body, her self-image, her confidence. And she also, in the process, healed her relationship with money, which is really amazing. And she also had a toegasm, an orgasm in her toes. Like, that's how present she got in her body. So, so cool. Let's see, a few couples have joined the program, and they've deepened their love and their connection. They're getting along a lot better, which is very exciting. Another couple said that they feel closer than they have in their whole relationship. They've been together 9 years, and through the sacred sexuality, they feel closer than ever, which is incredible. And let's see, just one more I'm going to share with you because there's so many. I could keep going on and on. There's a woman that did the program that is widowed and she's in her 70s. And she got her glow on, got more comfortable in her sexuality, and is ready to call in the next love of her life, which is a really, really big deal. So what I have for you today is an opportunity to explore more and to have a Spark Your Sexual Fire session with the lovely, amazing Ashley Butler, my director of magical experiences. I'm going to ask Ashley to share in just a moment. And we have this sacred opportunity for you to have a private one-on-one session with Ashley on Zoom, 45 to 60 minutes, where you can explore what are your intentions for your life, for your love life, your sex life, your life overall. What are your intentions? What is getting in the way for you? What are the specific blocks for you? And then what are some specific action steps that you can take right away? And then if you want to learn more about Mariposa Sacred Sexuality, Ashley can share with you which class is the most, will be the most helpful for you. So it's a beautiful session. You walk away with a lot. And then if you want to continue, you're able to continue. So let me hop over to Ashley. I'm going to stop my screen share for a second here. Let's see. Okay, there we go. You can go ahead and unmute and share. This is Ashley, everybody.
Okay. Hi, everyone. As Courtney mentioned, my name is Ashley Butler, and I am the Director of Magical Experiences with Courtney Fae Long. I am so excited to just be immersed within this journey and to help others just have a really fun and authentic conversation and be able to make some really powerful recommendations, and that you can take away some tools to add to your toolkit, whether this ends up being the right path for you or not. I feel like everyone could benefit from Mariposa, and I'm excited to embark in the journey myself. So very happy to be here and to have a chance and opportunity to potentially speak with some of you. So thank you for having me.
Woohoo! Thank you so much for sharing, Ashley. So excited. And Ashley's amazing, everybody. Like, she is so cool and just so loving and caring and so easy to talk to. So definitely, if you have like any inkling that you might want to explore Mariposa further, or if like what we're sharing today, if it really lights you up, then you can schedule with her. And the link is in the chat box. Donna popped it in the chat box. Thank you so much. So all you have to do is fill out an application so Ashley can get to know you a little bit more, and then she'll email you to schedule your session. So also make sure that you're checking your email, checking your spam and your promotions tab if you use Gmail, just in case your email happens to go there. But definitely, if you have any questions, or if you know you want to dive deeper, or if you're just not sure, is Mariposa for you, then just schedule with Ashley, or you can even email with her if you'd rather email back and forth rather than like meet on Zoom. But either way, yeah, if you have any questions, then definitely reach out.
We don't want you to stop yourself from potentially having an incredible experience. So we know that sometimes we can be our own worst enemies. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't that so true? It's like I was sharing how I've been sabotaging myself, and throughout my life, it's like it's one of those things where sometimes what we want is just on the other side of fear. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, can I really handle all this change and transformation in my life? So yeah, just believe in yourself, listen to your heart if you're guided to explore more. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. Okay, cool. All right. Let me hop back to our content. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm going to check the chat box in just a moment too. So there's the link. It's CourtneyFaeLong.com/apply. So that is your free gift number 1, which is super exciting. And then also, if you want to get started right away, you're like, I don't even need to have a conversation with Ashley, I just want to get started. Then we also have a special intro program for you, a 22-day immersion that will be starting soon. And you can check that out as well. It's at CourtneyFaeLong.com/Mariposa-immersion. And it's about unleashing your sacred sexual superpower to create the love and the life that you want. Awesome. Okay, we still have glow step 3 and 4. So if you can hang in with me a little longer, then let's keep going and keep diving in. Glow step number 3 is orgasmic. Glow step number 3 is orgasmic. And this step is all about opening the flow of your sacred sexual energy. The glow system builds upon each step. So it's like once you're comfortable in your body, you've got your body confidence on, you've opened up your heart, now it's time to get even more in touch with your sexual energy, with that energy that starts in those lower 2 chakras and ideally is meant to connect with your heart and flow through your whole entire body and your energy field. So this is the O in glow, of course. The O stands for orgasmic. A few mistakes you might be making are possibly shutting down your desires, not even admitting to yourself how much you want sacred sex, or how much you want connection, or how much you want other desires like rest or food or any kind of desires. Not taking sex seriously, like not realizing how important it is to your overall picture of your life, to your spirituality, to your health and vitality. And then I mentioned the subconscious blocks. Because we've all been raised in a very sex negative culture, most of us are walking around with a lot of deep subconscious blocks and old limiting beliefs around our sexuality, a lot of like sexual shame. And shame is the lowest vibration that we can experience in physical form. I said that our sexual energy is the highest vibration we can experience, but shame is the lowest vibration that we can experience. Isn't that interesting? It's when we feel bad about ourselves or bad about our sexuality. And we really can't fully love ourselves if we don't love our sexuality. It's really important. So are you craving that mind-blowing, earth-shattering sex to feel totally comfortable in your sexuality, totally connected to yourself, your partner, the whole universe, and to feel totally, deeply sexually satisfied? It's not just nice to feel sexually satisfied. I believe it's part of your life purpose. Mariposa action step for glow step number 3 is to make a decision to light your sexual fire. This is about getting in your power and making a decision. This is about you saying, okay, you know, in the past, I didn't prioritize pleasure. In the past, I worked more than I made love. In the past, I didn't always honor my sexuality, but that changes right now. That changes right now. You have the power in this moment to make a really powerful decision. You have the power to draw a line in the sand, to cross over that line, to say, okay, the past was the past, but starting right now and moving forward, you are going to totally embrace your sexuality. Again, whether that involves working with me, whether it's what you do in yourself, I'm not attached to how it looks. I just really believe that now is your time. And if you believe that too, then all you've got to do is make a decision. Just decide. You can do it right this second. You can do it when we're done here today. You can just say, I am ready. I'm ready, universe, for unleashing my sacred sexual superpower. So all it takes is a powerful decision. And here's just a little bit more about glow step number 3, what it's all about. It's, again, unleashing your sacred sexual energy, boosting your health and your vitality with your sexual energy, letting that sexual energy work for you. And also owning the beauty of your orgasms and understanding how your orgasms work, owning the beauty of your sexual orientation, your wetness, your erections, like every aspect of your sacred sexuality. It's about embracing it and loving it from deep within. Releasing the sexual shame and the blocks to sacred sexuality, clearing those old subconscious blocks, meeting your magical, authentic sexual self. It's like basically your higher self, and creating your sacred sexuality treasure map, where you map out the treasures, the hidden treasures in your body for your own knowledge, and you map out like all the things that you love. in a sexual experience, all the things you don't love. There's a lot to it, but you map this out for your own sexual empowerment, and you also map it out to communicate to your partner what you want and what you want to explore. So these are some of the things we can do together in the Mariposa program, and they're all very, very important for getting your glow on, and it's all very possible. So last but not least, glow step number 4 is wonderment. Tap into the magic and creative power of your sexual energy. And the W in glow stands for wonderment, which means great delight or joy. I tried to say those two words together, great delight or joy, amazement. When you really tap into your sexual energy, it doesn't just feel good, it's amazing. It's like, just like I said, flying around as the butterfly, turning the lights on brighter in your life. It's like you become more in awe of life and turned on for life. And this is the step where it all comes together, where you start to practice sexual magic and manifestation with the help of your sexual energy, where you manifest the career you love, the relationship you love. You can manifest money. I manifested my current home, which it has been my dream home, with the help of my sacred sexuality. So lots and lots of possibilities, because your sexual energy is infinite. So a mistake that you might be making is being stuck in do mode, or do mode, where you are just like doing and taking action, and you're not relaxing and receiving, where you're forcing, pushing, trying too hard, where you're over giving, not receiving, and basically not accessing your feminine energy, which most of us have, some growing to do in that area, where most of us are comfortable with our masculine energy of action taking and doing, not as comfortable with the feminine energy of being and receiving, which very much is important for our sensuality. Okay, perfect. So basically, do you relate to this? I'd love to hear in the chat box, do you feel like you're always in go mode, achieving, doing, but not necessarily in that receiving, being mode? And are you craving to utilize your creative sexual power to create the life you want? Do you know you have this deep power inside, and you are like, it's my time. It's my time to feel powerful and to create the life I want. Do you want to manifest in an easier way? Maybe you've been working really hard to make money, to make ends meet. Maybe you've been working really hard to just do anything, but would you rather manifest in an easier, effortless way, which is your birthright to do, especially when you balance your feminine and masculine energy and learn to work with your sexual magic? Okay, mentioned that a little earlier. And do you want to relax and receive like a queen, king, or goddess? So your action step for glow step number 4 is allow yourself to receive. I just want you to practice receiving. It could just be receiving a compliment, receiving someone holding the door open for you, receiving perhaps sexual pleasure if you'll allow yourself to. But just think of like one thing that you could receive in the next week and practice, because it's about getting into this habit of not just giving, but also receiving, feeling really comfortable to receive. And glow step number 4 is very much about tapping into this gorgeous feminine sweet space of surrender, getting really comfortable with your feminine energy, not just as a concept, like we can all think about it, but it's about feeling it in your body. Again, balancing your feminine and masculine energies. And then also there is a very beautiful protocol called the Mariposa Sexual Magic Method, where you have these 7 steps that you take to manifest your divine desires with your sacred sexual energy. And then you can utilize that to create the loving relationship you want, whether that's calling in the partner for you or deepening the love in your current relationship. You can also utilize this process to increase your money flow. Isn't that cool? Okay, little brief recap, I'm kind of speeding along, is the foreplay before the glow system is prioritize pleasure. Glow step number 1 is grounding, body confidence, getting really into the sacredness of your body, multidimensional grounding. Glow step number 2 is the love, activating the orgasmic power of your heart, healing those heart walls, connecting your sacred heart to your sacred genitals, getting that energy flowing. Glow step 3 is orgasmic, opening the flow of your sacred sexual energy and releasing the sexual shame, clearing those subconscious blocks, just totally feeling so comfortable and liberating your sexual energy. And glow step number 4 is the wonderment, the magic and creative power of your sacred sexual energy. That is just a brief recap of the glow system. Like I said, we are just like scratching the surface today. By all means, I wanted to give you as much as I could in our short time. And I also want you to know that the deep transformation happens when you really dive into this process, when you enter the sacred journey with me, the beautiful program. And I know it's not for everyone, but if you are feeling called to it, I would love to work with you. And I can't wait to see like what magic unfolds for you because of the beautiful glow system and because of the magic of your own sexual energy. So today really can be a big turning point for you. It's like I said, making a decision, putting your foot down, drawing a line in the sand, being like, no more am I going to be overworked and underpleasured. No more am I going to sabotage my own love life because I was hurt in the past. Like, there are ways to clear and heal that, especially with your sexual energy. And you know, there are lots of heart opening techniques out there. Like there's heart opening yoga poses. There's all kinds of things out there. But what I see is that they're lacking the subconscious release as well as working with the sexual energy. So I have this really amazing protocol of healing your heart walls with subconscious clearing and with the help of your sexual energy. And I've never seen anything like Mariposa out there. It's been such a gift in my life and my clients' lives, and I hope in your life too. Okay, so what's possible with Mariposa? What's possible when you activate your sexual energy? Of course, it's all about love and all about you being your authentic self, having health and happiness, glowing from the inside out. And also, when you activate your sexual energy, you're really activating your own deep confidence. And I'm going to have Lotus share in just a moment. Let me just skip ahead to something. But before I do that, I want to give you your second free gift. Thank you for hanging in. And your second free gift is my ebook called Light Your Sexual Fire. And it goes into an overview of the glow system. There's a 10-question quiz in it so you can know how brightly is your sexual fire shining. And it's a really good enlightening read. So I definitely recommend download that ebook today. Here's the link. Donna's posting it in the chat box too. And then make sure not just download it, but don't let it just like be on your computer. Like actually read it, you know, print it out, make time, maybe even this coming weekend, make time to read it. Give yourself this precious gift. Okay, perfect. I want to hear from Lotus. And so I'm going to stop my share. Let me see if I can find you, Lotus. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in with me. It's been such a fun journey. Let's see. Is Lotus on? All right. Oh, there she is. Okay, Lotus, I just asked you to unmute. There you are. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, so everybody, this is Lotus. She's amazing. She's done the Mariposa program, and she is just quite a powerful healer herself. And I'm just so excited. She wants to share just like a little bit about her journey of like what has she gotten out of Mariposa, and she's so inspiring. So take it away, Lotus.
Well, gosh, Mariposa has impacted my life in so many wonderful ways. I think it's helped my self-confidence, definitely. It has, you know, I feel more worthy. I've moved through so many blocks and so many ahas. And so I'm nervous. I don't know why.
You're doing great. You're so awesome.
And yeah. I kind of say what's on my mind. So, but yeah, I mean, I've just, you know, I was just thinking of what I can say, and I've also started manifesting things too. I mean, I'm, it's just like all of a sudden things just have experiences or money or, just some wonderful things, which I'm very excited about. But I think one of the biggest things is the self-worth. I realized one day after, I don't even know which class it was, and actually I think it was one of Courtney's calls we had actually, and I realized I'm like laying in bed, I'm like, why can't I be worthy? I have never done anything really bad, but even if you have, it doesn't really matter because we're worthy anyway, regardless of what we've done or not done or where we are in life or not in life. And that was a huge moment for me. And so which the self-worth has, which has my self-confidence. And then I'm starting getting more work, and and that's changing. And I'm almost completely out of debt. I'll be out of debt by the end of the year, which I've been in debt for a long time. So I mean, and working the programs, and it's been challenging too at times too. I've been stuck on some classes where it might take me 2 or 3 months to go through because it's such a block. But the one thing I really want to share that this actually literally happened last week. I read erotica. I'm single, and so I was sitting there reading it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have been so shut down sexually and in a lot of ways. And so I was reading this book and I was so turned on, like I was 20 years old. I was like, Lord. So obviously I have really released some major blocks of just owning my own sexuality. And so that was like really kind of cool. I was like, ooh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's impacted, I would have to say, a lot of my life. And I'm very grateful. And, I enjoy the courses, and of course Courtney, who is very gentle and loving and stuff. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
Thank you so much for sharing, Lotus. Does anybody, I love the comments in the chat box. People are saying like, that's amazing, Lotus. Like, yes. And when you mentioned erotica, I think that was when you got a big yes. I love it. Yeah. And I love it. And Don says, gives me inspiration and hope. Thank you. Yeah. And Lotus, you're so inspiring. I just really appreciate you so much. And I love witnessing your journey. It's like, you're such a loving presence and such a warrior. You like you said, there's some classes that you got stuck on, but it's like you just were gentle with yourself. You moved at your own pace, and then you moved through them, and then you like worked it not just once but multiple times to have like some really deep healing. And I just really honor you because you've rocked the journey, and I'm so happy for all the beautiful things that you've gotten out of it. And you are glowing. Someone else said you're glowing.
Am I? Oh my goodness, thank you.
Yes.
Yay.
Mission accomplished.
Yay. But I do recommend the course. I mean, because like I said, it's helped me so much to honor myself, and to take care of myself. I mean, I still have a long way to go, but but from when I very first started to now, I mean, and like Courtney can attest to that. I mean, so much has changed. And of course I love the courses, and one thing I did right, I love her meditations. And that the nice thing about that is you can, listen to this over and over. And, they're very soothing. So yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing, Lotus. Oh, thank you so much. Such an honor and pleasure. Yay, awesome. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna switch back screens. There we go. Yeah, and I'm just really honoring of Lotus and everybody that's been through the program. And it's amazing. It's like, in a way, it feels like a miracle, honestly. And I was thinking as I was preparing this webinar, I was like, this might sound so far-fetched, like, you know, do this one thing and your whole life is going to improve. But it's like, but that's true. It's very true. It's like, that's the missing piece. Our sexuality has been, I think, for many of us, the missing piece that no one has told us about. It's like this kind of big illusion we've been living in, or, you know, this missing piece that is really the source of our inner power. It's our sexuality. And it's like, who knew that the missing piece was related to sex? You know, it's like we go, you know, hike on top of a mountain and meditate for years, or you like do this eating plan to lose weight or whatever. It's like all the things that we've tried in our lives to have a better life. It's like, who knew that the missing piece is related to sex and our sexuality? Isn't that funny? But I also just really want to emphasize that this is like no partner required. The whole first Mariposa journey is all about you and yourself. And when you definitely unleash your sexual energy, everyone in your life is going to notice something's happening to you, especially your partner if you have one. But there will be a class. The next journey is for couples, but this first journey is for you. Couples can do it together, but it's an individual journey. So let me just share a couple more points. And perfect, thank you, Donna. She just popped. I was just gonna ask Donna to share that link. You're amazing. So anyway, there's the link in the chat box if you do want to have that complimentary session with Ashley. It's a $297 value. And you can have it for free, which is lovely. Let me share my screen. Is you can apply for a Spark Your Sexual Fire session with Ashley. I highly recommend it. And that is basically just your first step if you want to explore, is Mariposa for you? It's going to be a relaxed, authentic, eye-opening conversation, no pressure whatsoever, just a sense of like you getting to tune in and see, is this really for you? You following your heart, following your intuition. And just remember too that you are worth it. Like no matter how worthy or unworthy you might feel, if your soul is ready, if your soul is guiding you to unleash your sacred sexuality, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. I can't predict exactly what's going to happen for you, but your soul knows, right? So it's like no matter what it's been like earlier in your life, you can change everything right now. It's like no matter what's happening in your life, it can all change in an instant with unleashing your sexual energy with the right tools, the right techniques, the right meditations. Like Lotus mentioned, the meditations in the program, they are specifically designed to be energy clearing experiences, as well as they have hypnotherapy techniques. Since I'm a certified hypnotherapist, hypnotherapy techniques to clear those deep subconscious blocks. And in all the healing work I've been doing over the years, my clients get the biggest results from those guided meditations. We can talk about this stuff all day long, but if we don't clear those subconscious blocks, nothing is going to change. So that creates that big, powerful change, as well as all the sacred sexual embodiment exercises where you literally work with your sexual energy to get it flowing in your body and flowing in your life so you can be turned on for life. Turned on for life. Woohoo! I want to see if anybody has any questions. If you do, you can put them in the chat box, or you can even unmute yourself as well. I'm going to spend just a couple more minutes on here with you and see if anybody has any questions. So let me
Courtney?
see. Yes.
There were a couple of questions while you were doing your presentation.
Oh, great.
That I noted down. Dawn
you.
asked, are pleasure centers different for different people?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. Are pleasure centers different for different people? Yes, yes is a simple answer. There are some common ones, like I mentioned, the heart and the sacred genitals. Those are definitely really important pleasure centers. And then there are additional ones, like even within the sacred genitals, there are pleasure centers that actually can even move and change on a given day, and which is very interesting. But there's also unique pleasure centers in the body and the energy field that are possibly unique to you. So really good question. Really, really good question.
And Samantha asked, what is the best way to begin taking the walls down?
So that's a really good question too. So the first thing is to be willing to. Be willing to take those walls down. Be willing to, and I would say reassure yourself that it's safe to love, that it's safe to love, and that you have a birthright to love. So it's like, kind of like I said, a decision. A decision is such a powerful thing. So it's like a decision to make, or to make room in your heart for love, to melt those heart walls. That is super, super important. And then there's a beautiful heart wall melting protocol that I share in the Mariposa courses if you're interested in really going for it. So yeah, definitely let me know. And then Dawn, I just noticed this, Dawn put in the chat box, can hypnotherapy happen virtually? So good question. Can hypnotherapy happen virtually? Absolutely it can. And it does all the time. Yeah. Any others, Donna?
Courtney?
No, that's the only ones that I had.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
Courtney?
yes, I hear somebody. A voice.
That's Cynthia. Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi. My question is, I'm sitting here just mind boggled about the whole thing. I'm excited. And what I'm so excited about is that the whole idea of, first of all, doing this for yourself, but even more so, being able to call in the one. And my question is, I guess I'll know as I go down the line, but do you need to know who the one is? Does it matter? Or is it just a matter of you being in this place where you're just manifesting and attracting almost effortlessly?
Yeah,
Help me understand that.
that's such a good question, Cynthia. I literally just almost got tears in my eyes as you asked it. It just, I can feel, it's so inspiring. So great question. You do not have to know who the one is. It's actually better if you don't, so that your mind doesn't get in the way. And so it's about exactly getting in that place where you are glowing, you've raised your vibration, you're totally comfortable in your body, your sexuality, comfortable as your authentic self. And then that means you attract in the right match, the right partner who is also confident, comfortable in themselves, being their authentic selves in the world. And I tend to have a lot of clients who feel like they repeat the same relationship over and over. Like they're always giving to others, and like they tend to be with someone who's maybe a little needy or not necessarily willing to give, or like someone who's maybe insecure or critical, like that kind of thing. So it's like when you get your glow on, you can break yourself out of those old relationship patterns of calling in kind of like not the perfect person for you, if that makes sense. And you call in the right person who like resonates with your soul, because essentially you're embodying your soul. It's your sexual energy, but it's really your soul. So it's like when you're fully being yourself, you can't help but call in the right person who is like also searching for you. And I would say too, like really keep an open mind, because the person that is your perfect match might be very different than you would expect. Like that's happened to me so much with Mike. I met Mike, he's 18 years older than me. I wasn't expecting that. Thank goodness I was open to it, because how easy would that have been?
He doesn't look it at all.
Right? I know he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. And yeah, he's amazing. And then not only that, but he's retired from the Army. And when I met him, I was teaching about the angels at the time, and I was thinking like angels and Army. I don't know if those two can coexist, but I was completely wrong. So it's like if I'd listened to my mind, I would have never started dating him. So I had to really keep an open mind. And then he's just like, have such a wonderful relationship. It's not free of challenges. Like we have challenges for sure, but we grow from them. Yeah.
Well, I am so excited. I'm telling you, you got me over here. I'm so excited. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh God, it just opened a whole new door for me.
Awesome.
And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So
That's
thank
so
you.
Good. You're
Very
so
excited.
welcome. Yay. Mission accomplished. That's what I was hoping for you all today, that you just, have like some life-changing ahas, and just really feel the power. And it's like the power that's inside of you. It's all right there. Any other questions? Oh, Lisa asks, good question. How do you know if your current partner is the right one? Easy answer. If you are full of your life force energy, if you are totally being your authentic self, living your joy, being yourself, and that partner is matching you in that space of love and joy and authenticity, and they're able to love and able to let themselves be loved, then you know. It's like if you feel happy in the relationship and you can totally be free to be yourself and be empowered in your sexuality and empowered in your career and every aspect of your life, then that is a good match. But if you are totally being yourself and that person has a hard time with it, or they criticize you, or they feel insecure, they can't almost like they can't handle your shine, then that is time to question the relationship. Or of course, if you're experiencing any kind of abuse, not good. I hope that helps. But I just say, like, that's the thing. Sometimes people say, well, how do I know if the person's right for me? And I just say, you know, be yourself, do this beautiful journey of opening your heart to love, work on your inner blocks around love, and get your glow on, do all of those things. And then you'll have a better indication. Are they going to go on that journey with you? Or is it going to be almost like a separating process? But you can't like force it. You just have to kind of let it unfold and see. Yeah. And then Dawn asks, can my work alone create change in my partner? Absolutely. Absolutely. Really good question. Yep. And that's why it's funny because it's like sometimes couples work on this together and sometimes it's just one person in the partnership because the other person wouldn't be open to it, which is totally fine because like you're going to show up differently to your partner. And that's what happened, like even for me with Mike, it's like once I stopped blaming him and worked on my own heart wall, and then I was more willing to receive love. And it just shifted the dynamics in our relationship so much. Like we started getting along so much better. Yep. Awesome. Rick, you're an Army vet. I love that. That's so cool. Thank you so much for your service. It's a huge deal. And you're way into angels. So like, right? It just shows. Yep. I learned a lot about that.
See, it's not so weird, Courtney.
It's not weird at all. There's lots of angels in the Army.
There has to be.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I understand now. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question, Courtney. So
Yeah.
what is
Benjamin.
what is gonna be, I have it in my phone so I cannot type, write anything.
Yeah.
But you say you have a classes, right?
Classes?
Yeah.
Yep, there's two options. One option is there's an intro class. It's a 22-day immersion that is coming up soon. I'm going to email you the info. And then, or you can go, Donna, can you pop the link in the chat box too for the 22-day immersion? So that's an intro program. And then there's also a longer journey that is a longer, actually 9-month Mariposa Sacred Sexuality journey where you get to go through the entire glow system and all of the steps of prioritizing pleasure as well. And I designed it, it's 9 months on purpose because it works around a busy schedule. You need basically like 2 to 3 hours a week. You can put more time in if you've got it, but if you've got a busy schedule, you can make it work just with minimal time per week. And then also it's 9 months because that represents a gestation process, like a birth process where you're giving birth to your magical, authentic sexual self. And then there's some other options
there is
too.
online? There's
Yep,
only
they're
online?
online. Mm-hmm.
Just online only?
Online only, yep. And very interactive because we meet on Zoom for the group coaching. So you actually get to meet with me twice a month and do group coaching with me. And then basically you ask questions and then I support you. And then you learn from the other participants too. And then there's also video classes and there's like lots of interactive pieces to it.
And how much is the class, Courtney?
How much is the classes? The intro program that I was talking about, the 22-day immersion, it's pay what you can style. So you get to choose. You either choose, it's $222 or $155 or $97. And you pay what you can based on which of those numbers feels the best to you. I give you, like, you'll see it on the description. There's a different meaning for each number. So you get to choose. And then if you want to do the longer journey, then that is more of an investment. And I would suggest meeting with Ashley about it so you can see, first of all, is it the right program for you? And then do you want to do the full program, or do you want to start with like a certain portion of it? So the pricing depends on which option you choose. So I would suggest meeting with Ashley, and then she'll talk to you about all of the options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I try to write it in Meetup. I don't use my mail, but I try to keep in touch for all these classes.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Yep. And then and you can't see the chat box, right? Because you're on your phone. It's a little harder to find, but I'll message you, Benji, and Meetup. I'll message you the links.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So happy you could make it live too. Yeah. Any other questions, anybody? All right, well, if you have any other questions, then you can email me. Thank you all for your time and your energy today. And I hope you feel inspired. So you can check out that ebook like I shared. You can also meet with Ashley. You can check out the intro program. So we've got options for you. And if you have any questions that you just really want, a burning question, you can email me as well, Courtney@CourtneyFaeLong.com. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart for your presence and your joy, for being who you are. And I adore each of you. And I'm just excited to be here with you today, and excited to go further with you on the journey if you feel guided to. Awesome. Have a good day, everybody. Sending you lots of love. All right, bye.